Hello everyone, welcome to Event Digital class. So in today class, we will discuss about set associative mapping. In the previous class, I have already discussed about the direct mapping and also associative mapping. What is the advantages of the associative mapping is that in that mapping technique, you can map any memory block into any cache lines, but in the direct mapping, it is specific, or you can map a memory block into a specific cache line. What is the disadvantages of associative mapping is that you have to check every tag fields parallelly, and there are huge amount of tag fields. So by checking this, you may need some more time, and also there may be some cases where you have to check which line is empty. So to avoid this associative mapping disadvantages, another mapping technique is used, that is our set associative mapping. So in this associative mapping, we combine the techniques of direct mapping and also associative mapping. So let us go to the details about the set associative mapping technique. The next one is our set associative mapping. So this is the combination of fully associative and direct mapped cache, or you can say the associative mapping and direct mapping technique, because to implement the set associative mapping, we use both the techniques. Fully associative means it is similar to the associative mapping, or you can say the associative mapping you can call as the fully associative mapping. The next one is our cache is divided into a number of sets. As the name says that the set associative mapping, that means associative mapping with the set of lines. Okay. So the cache is divided into number of sets, and each set has a number of lines, or you can say each set contains a number of lines. If a cache memory has 34 lines and the cache is divided into 4 sets, so that you have to conclude that in each set will have 8 number of lines each, because the number of lines in the cache is of 32 and set is of 4. So in the set will have 8 lines. Next one is our a given block maps to any line in a specific set. In the direct mapping, what we have discussed, that the given block maps to any line, but here we add the another concept, that is our set. Here we does not map the given block to any specific line, but here we maps a given block to a specific set, and if a set contains 4 lines or 8 lines each, then a given block can be assigned to any line in the set, either line 0, line 1, line 2, line 3, like this. Okay. So this concept is our associative mapping concept, but the set concept is used by implementing the direct mapping concept. So here use direct mapping to determine which set in the cache corresponds to a set in memory. Okay, the formula which we have used to get the direct mapping concept, so that formula is also used here to get the set value. Okay, and then memory block would then be in any line of that set, because a set may contain more than 1 line. So a memory block can be placed in any line of that set. So next one is our, let us see, 2 lines per set, let L0 and L1, then it is called as two-way associative mapping. And then a given block can be in either of 2 lines in a specific set. As I have told you that a set includes 2 lines, then that is called as two-way set associative. If a cache contains 4 sets, then you can say it is 4 set associative mapping. Okay, or you can say if a set contains 4 lines each, then you can say it as 4 OA associative mapping. So there is a difference between the OA associative mapping and the set associative mapping. The OA determines the lines for the set, but the set determines how many sets we are having in the cache memory. Okay, so you have to remember these things. The next one is our, if there is k lines per set, it is called as k-OA associative mapping. That means a given block can be in any one of the k lines in a specific set. Then it is much easier to simultaneously search one set than all lines. As in the associative mapping, we have to search all the cache lines, but here in the set associative mapping, we have to search the lines, or you can say we have to search multiple lines in a parallel manner, but the amount of line to be searched is lesser as compared to the associative mapping, because we divided a specific amount of line into one set and all set size will be equal. We will see it in an example in the next slide. So this is the example of set associative mapping. So what this determines? So to compute the cache set number, in the direct mapping we compute the cache line number, but here we have to compute the cache set number. That means a block has to be assigned to any line of that set. Here you can see it is 2A set associative mapping. Here is 2 sets and each set contains 2 lines. Okay, here I have written slots. You can also give the name as the lines. Okay, both are same. Line 0, slot 0, both are same. And here set norm equals to J mod V or J modulus B, you can say. So the J determines the main memory block number and V determines the number of sets in the cache. If you want to map block number 0 into the cache memory, then what will be the value and where it will be mapped? So 0, here 0 mod B, and how many number of set in the cache? Here is the 2. So 0 mod 2. So the remainder is our 0. So block 0 has to be placed in the set 0, and this set 0 contains 2 lines or 2 slots, you can say here. So it can be mapped into any line of this set 0. Okay. So this is the formula, and this formula is also used during the direct mapping technique, because in the direct mapping technique here is our line number and J determines the same main memory block number, and here B determines the number of lines in the cache. If you will implement this by using direct mapping, then block 0 will be in the line 0, block 1 will be line 1. But here you can place block 0 either in the line 0 or in the line 1, because it has to be mapped into a specific set, not to a specific line. So this is the difference between set associative and direct mapping. Next one is our an example. So the same example which I have implemented in the associative mapping. So the cache size is our 64K, that means 24 bits are required to represent the address. Okay. Here is given that the 64 KB cache with a line size of 4 byte, or the line contains 4 words. As I have told you in the direct mapping concept, you have to determine the block size according to the line size, because the block size of main memory is equals to the line size of cache memory, and here it is written as 4 bytes. And also I have told you that whether it is byte or word, here we have to consider that 1 word is equals to 1 byte. So the line size will be our 4 words. So to represent 4 words we need 2 bit. We are having 1638 for lines and what is the set? Here in this cache we are having 8192 number of sets and each set contains 2 lines. So, how many lines we are having in the cache memory? 8192 multiplied with the 2. So, to represent this set value we need 13 bits because 2 to the power 13 is equals to 8192. Okay. So, here we use the set field to determine cache to set to look in. Then next one is our compare the tag fields of all slots in the set to set if we have a hit or not. Let take an example. Address is our this much. So, first we have to represent it in the binary format here. Then tag field is our the first 9 bits. So, what are these? This much is our 9 bits. So, tag value is our 0 to C. It is in the hexadecimal format as you can see here. And the set value is our 0C E7. So, it is the next 13 bits from this tag and last 2 bits is our 0. So, you have to search each tag field to find out the requested word. So, word is in our 00 means it is in the 0th position and the block lies in any set, or you can say the set is specified where the block is going to be mapped. Here is the set value. So, in this set value 0C E7 set there are 2 lines because here each set contains 2 lines. So, the block has to be in these 2 lines of this set. So, from that you have to search that in the parallel manner, then from that you will get your word and the word is in our 0th position of the corresponding block. So, this is another example, address 008004. So, here you can say the tag field is our 001, okay, first. Then set value is our 001, that means it is our set 1. So, word is our 0. So, in the set 1, there are 2 lines, line 0 and line 1. So, you have to go to the lines first and from that you will get the block and from that block you will get our word. Next slide is about the locality of reference. So, in the previous slides we have discussed about the mapping functions and in this locality of reference what we will discuss, this concept is basically used to increase the effectiveness of the cache mechanism, because in the mapping technique we see that by using different mapping techniques you can map one memory block into a cache line. But if there are multiprocessor concept arise, that means multiple requests or you can say multiple processors are there. So, they will request multiple blocks at a time. Then you have to choose the main memory blocks priority wise. So, to do this, which memory blocks has to be mapped or which memory blocks has to be fetched and stored in the cache memory, that is done by the locality of reference. So, here since the size of the cache memory is less as compared to the main memory, so to check which part of the main memory should be given priority and loaded in the cache. Okay. So, that is decided by the locality of reference. So, there are basically 2 types of locality of reference, or you can say to choose the main memory blocks we use 2 techniques, like one is our temporal locality of reference and another one is our spatial locality of reference. Okay. So, first go to the temporal locality of reference. So, in this type of locality of reference, programs basically tends to reference the same memory location at a future point of time, okay, because in the concept of loops or iterations like this, the programs basically spending a lot of time in one section of code, because as you know
that when loop concept comes or the conditional statements, then at that point of time a single instruction can be executed multiple number of times. So for doing this, the program has to be referenced, or you have to consider that the program will reference the same memory location at a future point of time, because we may need that instruction in the next. Okay. So for that reason you have to fetch, or you can say you have to choose that part of the main memory and you have to store that in the cache memory. Next one is our spatial locality of reference. So spatial locality means the programs tends to reference memory locations that are near other recently referenced memory location. In the temporal locality, you have to choose that instruction, and we can say that memory location which is referenced recently, and you have to assume that that memory location may be referenced future point of time. So that is the temporal locality. But when you choose the nearby memory locations which is referenced recently, so that is done by the spatial locality, and you have to choose multiple number of instructions. Okay. So the memory locations that are near to the recently referenced memory locations. So due to the way contiguous memory is referenced, because when we are choosing a block of memory, or you can say some memory locations before the recently referenced memory location and some location after that. Okay. So that memory locations has to be in a contiguous manner, like an array or the instructions that make up a program, because array is a type of data structure which is basically used to store in a contiguous memory locations. And the next concept is our sequential locality. It is a part of spatial locality, as we have to choose the memory locations in a contiguous manner, then the instructions has to be accessed sequential, that means one after another. Okay. So this is the concept of locality of reference, and in the previous slides we have already discussed about the mapping techniques. Okay. So in today's lecture we have discussed about the set associative mapping. So this is the last mapping technique of cache mapping. In the set associative mapping, what we have discussed? We have discussed about the mapping concept by using which we map a memory block into a cache lines in this way. Okay. So this formula is same as the direct mapping, as I have discussed in my previous lecture, and in this we have also used the associative mapping concept here, as the set contains multiple lines. So you can place a memory block into any cache lines, which is the concept of associative mapping. And another concept is that you have to place a block into a specific set. So that is the concept of direct mapping. That's why the set associative is the combination of direct mapping and also the associative mapping techniques. And this is the example of set associative mapping which I have discussed also in the associative mapping. If you have any doubt regarding associative mapping or direct mapping, you can go to my previous lectures, and also you can mention go to the previous lectures of mine, and if you have any doubt, then you can give it in the comment box. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.